Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris here, and this is kind of a random video for me to make, but last night I revisited one of my favorite thrillers of all time, and I wanted to make this video because I feel like a lot of people have just either never heard of it or never gave it a look for whatever reason. That movie is the Kurt Russell vehicle, that's a pun intended, Breakdown. This movie is one of the best action thrillers I have ever seen in my entire life. So this was released in 1997. And the way that I came across this was at my local video store when I was in high school. It was probably at that point, 1998, whenever it had been released on VHS. I can't remember exactly what year it would have been, but around then. So I would have been maybe a sophomore in high school, something like that. But I saw the cover, knew that I liked Kurt Russell movies, just thought it looked like a good kind of matinee, Saturday afternoon type of thing. Got it home, watched it, and was floored. And in the intervening years, I would say I watch it once every year, once every couple of years, but I rewatched it last night and just wanted to kind of talk about why, I think it's so great. Hey, do me a favor. As always, if you're enjoying this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Please also be sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps out a lot. And as always, I very much appreciate your viewership. So this movie has shades of Alfred Hitchcock to it, but beyond that, it's just a really tightly made action thriller. And it's got a good runtime to it also. So I'm trying to remind myself now. It's 93 minutes long, so pretty brief, but it just runs along at sort of a breakneck clip. And I think it's one of these movies that just shows that when people exercise minimalism, when directors do that, writers do that, it works to their benefit. It works to the benefit of the story, the engagement, the action, the tension, all that kind of scene, all that kind of stuff that you see in a movie like this. And this movie is intense from start to finish. I mean, really, and I will say, I'm not going to spoil anything here about what actually happens as you get closer to the end of the movie, but a lot of people might kind of deride it a little bit for the very final scene getting a little too action heavy, but I just thought it was sort of the perfect, most satisfying capper to a movie that I've seen in years and years. Even, going past it now, decades here in 2023. So the plot is this: Kurt Russell and his wife are traveling, his character and his wife rather, are traveling across the country. They're moving to San Diego from Massachusetts. They have a little bit of a road rage run-in with a local in somewhere like Arizona. I don't know that they ever actually say which state that they're in, but it looks like Arizona, Utah, something like that. I would assume Arizona. But anyway, go to a gas station, get some gas, but while he's in there, he leaves his hood up because he's going to get some oil. He's going to top things off, kind of check on everything. Comes back out, bumps into the guy that had the little road rage incident happen earlier in the film, right at the start. Have a little exchange, and then they go along their merry way. So maybe they're 6 or 7 miles down the road, and all of a sudden, all the lights go on the dashboard of the car. It breaks down, hence the name of the movie. And then they're on the side of the road in the desert trying to figure out what to do. A truck driver comes along, offers to give them some help. And what they decide to do is for Amy, Kurt Russell's character, Jeff, his wife, to go with this truck driver to this diner that's 5 miles down the road. He's going to stay with the car to protect all their stuff. She's going to call a tow truck, etc. So from there, he figures out what's been going on with the car. Somehow something got disconnected. He gets it going again, goes to find her at the diner, and she's not there. And from there, it just completely, unwinds into this crazy, psychotic movie. And the thing that makes it work so well is that it's 100% believable. I mean, there are some things here and there, potentially, that make you kind of stretch believability or, suspend your disbelief a little bit, but not really. And I think that's one of the things that makes this work so well. It kind of, in some ways, there's not really a connection here, but it reminds me of why I like a movie like the original Halloween so much. It's a simple plot. It's completely scary because there's a certain degree of believability in that. For example, in Halloween, some psycho person who's not supernatural, at least in that movie that we know of, is going from house to house, just being a complete maniac. And you've got something similar happening here to where the situation just keeps getting worse and worse. And you keep sort of asking yourself, if I were in this situation, how would I respond? And I would say that I would respond very similarly to how Kurt Russell does here, especially early on. Now, of course, as it goes on, he becomes a little bit more, or gets a little bit more in sort of the action hero territory, which we all sort of expect from his films. I would like to think that I would be able to do that, but who knows? I'd probably throw my back out doing half the stuff that happens in this movie. But it is just so well made. If you've never seen it before, do yourself a favor and watch Breakdown. Trust me, you will highly enjoy it. If you like intense movies, you like thrillers, you like mysteries, and even shades of horror kind of worked in here, then you are very much going to enjoy this. And one thing I discovered today is that it's actually free on YouTube with ads. Kim, who I do many reviews with here, we've been talking about this movie. She's never seen it, and I managed to find out that it is free on YouTube, so I passed that link along. I'm going to put it in the description here just so if you're interested in it, you can check it out. But Anyway, those are my thoughts on Breakdown. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Am I crazy? Is it not that great of a movie? Or do you also think it's one of the most underrated, overlooked, and I would say inexplicably, I don't know why more people haven't seen this, but one of the most overlooked films, thriller films, I should say, of the 90s era. One thing about this is they did have a Blu-ray release, a Paramount's Presents Blu-ray. It's out of print now, and to get it on somewhere like Mercari or eBay, it just costs a lot more than I would want to spend for it, so I'm good with my DVD for now, but I do want to get a Blu-ray copy of that eventually. But anyway, let me know what you think about it, and as always, thanks so much for watching.